Okay, today I just brought one deck with me on this trip. I hope it's probably not like super HD because the Wi-Fi is not that strong in this hotel where I am in the Philippines. And anyway, so I'm using the mini Rider-Waite. So normally I use 5 decks at home, so I'm just doing a different kind of spread. So what I did was I did like a timeline of basically like the story of the masculine and feminine energies. And then I did a separate like how's the masculine doing, how's the feminine doing, and then I did like an outcome spread, which also reads like a story. So we'll just like go through these. I'm gonna take a second to feel the energy of today myself, aside from the cards. Okay, well, it kind of feels like the masculine energy has like designated different like kind of emissaries of his energy to work with the feminine. I mean, because we're all connected energetically. So it feels kind of like they're becoming more spiritual and that they're not, like I was saying yesterday, not investing in like fear, pain energy and more just trusting. And that, yeah, so I feel like there's like multiple masculine energies who are kind of like doing the work of the masculine, if I can say that. So that might mean that in the lives of feminine, there are more characters around, one way or the other, and that like the lack of contact with the masculine doesn't mean that he's no longer interested or whatever. That different lessons, different versions of that love are being presented and experienced for the feminine is what I feel. Like on a small scale, I don't like, let me think for a second. There could be, in some cases, there could be like, you might have thought that this certain masculine was your twin flame or your special soulmate, but that they were doing the hard work of paving the way for the real one to come in. So it's what I'm suggesting is to accept that the energy is being given to you, but you don't have to see it in the form of a certain person, because like you may have been connecting with the masculine energy in a sort of precursor, like groundbreaking way, and then now it's more safe for the real masculine to come through, because you won't have as many issues, defenses, sabotage, etc., that would get in the way of completing this union, right? I'm just gonna see if there's another thing with that. Yeah, and try not to get into blaming or shaming. Like I see like the masculine's face like turn the other cheek, and to not like take advantage of that to like hit it or like it's not necessary to get into that. Just try to see the whole thing from a different perspective, like what I was just suggesting. I hope that you can hear me. I have a tendency to speak quietly, plus it's like 6 a.m. and I don't want to wake up all the neighbors and stuff. It's not I'm still not adjusted to the time zone here, so I was up all night pretty much. Okay, so in this first timeline, we have the Page of Wands. I don't know if you can see these as well because of the lighting and the graininess, but anyway. Then we have the Three of Cups. Sorry, I don't know why I expected to see like the words like cups on the cards. They're not on the cards. All right. So the Page of Wands, Three of Cups, Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and Four of Wands. I'll show you them in a second. I'm just gonna look at this timeline. Yeah, so initially the masculine was presenting as like a very immature, passionate, kind of, it's like an uneven player, you know what I mean? Because the knight can be like a player. So it's just like a very immature presentation of passion that ended up being confused with third party, like just it was sort of for everybody, kind of in a random fashion. And then one of those people in the like too many partners situation was the feminine, and then she was just like, no. And then the truth came out. And I feel like the truth coming out is now like in the present moment, and in the future will be this like union, real kind of like relationship, grounded, passionate union between the two of them, which like some people call this the marriage card. Kind of looks like it. Yeah, so it took the feminine having to be this character. Well, when I look at this card too, this is interesting. Okay. No, I'm gonna say I'm feeling more that this Queen of Swords is the masculine character, because he went from being this immature offering of passion to having like multiple partners and confusing life, and then having to cut out people and situations in order to reveal the truth about everything, in order to pave, like to clear the path for making the relationship that he wants in stability. Okay. Because my readings tend to err on the side of reading for the masculine. So this makes more sense to me that this is his timeline. And then his energies right now are of the Fool and the Knight of Swords. So he's coming forward like feeling a sense of freedom and like a new beginning, and feeling free to rush forward with the truth, although it may like hurt people in his path, and it may seem like too harsh and quick for some people, because it's like, where'd that come from, you know? Because they're used to this guy just being kind of low level, random, like passionate towards people, you know. And recently they've seen him stand up to people and, you know, stand his ground and talk about the truth, which they weren't maybe super into. And so like a lot of people are going to find that they're being like rushed out of his life, and because he's now in this position where he doesn't really care. He knows what he's meant to do, and he's freely going towards that and not carrying the burdens of those situations, people, or relationships, and going forth like in his manner is like, you know, still a little immature, but it's like getting her done, you know. And the feminine energy is the Queen of Cups, Judgment, and Justice. It's like heavy duty. Okay. Just gonna throw these glasses on for a second. Yeah, so when I look at this card, I feel like the feminine spent a lot of time like contemplating her love, her overflowing love, and her mastery of that, but like in solitude. And just having all this richness of love to give. And it kind of like it's not so much sadness as this kind of quiet dignity, I guess I feel like. And it's like what masculine will come up to this island basically through the emotional sea, you know, up to her to meet her in her, you know, queendom, her ownership of this power of love and like emotional fulfillment and mastery. And you know, judgment has come to like bring out of like to sorry what's the word called people who were dead like rise again. I can't remember that word right now, but anyhow, so these dead situations that took place are now being like brought up for review, and not necessarily by her, but by spirit. And like whether people like it or not, they're having to like surprise, stand up and be counted for what they've done, with whom, and for how long, and like how that was unjust, and to face the music, you know. And they might realize like, oh yeah, we were just doing stuff to do stuff, we were feeling dead inside. And then there's it's uncomfortable to be like brought back to consciousness after just like living in a way like from greed or material or fear based, like sort of death based instead of life based perspective. um and the feminine included, because like she's kind of like, well, what was I doing, like why was I doing it with this person? And just to echo what I was saying earlier, like she might feel that this partner she was with was just about lessons and being involved in like lower energy situations that were like beneath her, but like maybe she wanted to save him from this kind of death, this kind of soul death. But she's relieved to be like brought back up, to like wake up and hear the music and come out of that sleepiness of just like forgetting your purpose, forgetting like who you're meant to really resonate with and work with in life. And maybe this partner is at home there, you know, and or if they're not at home in these lower kind of consciousness situations, they're at least aware that yes, spirituality exists, and maybe that's like as far as I want to take it in this lifetime. Meanwhile, like it looks like the feminine energy is just like bathing in the reverberations of the horn from spirit, so like from God. So it's more like a welcome home for her in this, because she's really comfortable in her emotional power and what she has to offer in love. And like aside from judgment, after that comes justice. So justice is being served right now. So it kind of feels like whatever karmic lessons, situations, relationships were taking place, like it seems like everything's on the table right now, and it really looks like the masculine has dropped and cut ties with karmic things. I mean, from all these 3 rows so far, like that's what it seems to be saying. And there's a real calmness and regal quality that the feminine has, just having had waited for so long, waited for judgment and justice to come, and staying in her power as like a loving, like mastering love. Okay, and then we have this little narrative here too. So this is, I feel like, the stage afterwards. So you have him like coming forth with a passionate offer, like maybe seeming like a player. So it might be like a slightly immature, flirtatious style of communication that he's presenting. But it's taking him some strength to do this because it's a departure from what he was doing before as an even more immature version of passion, where he was like having multiple partners. And yeah, so after that was like cut off, and it's clear to him now, like after looking at the truth, that he wants a stable relationship. He's coming forth in this slightly more mature but not fully mature passion to come and deliver this message, and it's taking strength for him to overcome his ego and like that animal, like angry part of him that can just like go off and be wild and like unpredictable and dangerous and stuff like that. And so he's, after deciding to passionately come forward to have the strength to do that, he's making himself as fulfilled as he can on his own so that he has something to offer. He's filling up all his cups so that the only one that's missing is the feminine's cup to offer. So this is really like very little for her to do. It's also like finished with all the fighting and is like so kind of sneaking away with the spoils of everything that happened from his old situation. And he's hard at work trying to better himself. And it's taken a while. Like maybe it's taken like 8 months to complete this. Because he wants to be like this King of Pentacles. Like he's been working hard on his pentacles to become completely like materially successful so that he is able to offer like a real life with the feminine, because he knows like that spirit has designated that this is like where he should put his passions towards, to then have complete material like fulfillment and stable relationship with the feminine. So while yesterday's reading was like extremely romantic, this one seems to be about like really reviewing everything that happened in his mind, like how he really views the feminine, all the work that she did in order to bring about like judgment and justice and standing her ground and staying in her power of like it's strong, it's okay to be loving, it's okay to be the master of my emotions and to be like the queen of love and the queen of emotions, like it's nothing bad, you know, because like I think before it was something he didn't want, but now he's seeing her in the best light about that. And so today's reading, by comparison, is all about like him overseeing the entire situation and progression of their relationship, and how it's just now the time to become completely stable around it and to present like this spiritually guided, passionate offer to have this like complete fulfillment. You know, there's a lot of yellow in these cards. Like it's like bright, and there's blue too. Like there's a lot of bright communication and joy in this in these cards. You know, it might feel stressful for him to be both these characters, like both the Fool and the Knight of Swords, because it's a new energy for him to be this much like moving forward with things. But I think like the progression of his life and situations has brought the energy to this place, so it's not really like a fake kind of feeling like this is where he is now. You know, and he's having the strength to come forward, to be strong within himself, to walk away from the battles, like even if it seems kind of sneaky or deceptive to the people he was involved with. But I mean, if you're going to leave people and they're not happy about it, it's in their perspective, it's going to seem like he's sneaking off. But in his perspective, he's being very brave and starting fresh so that he can have this like total fulfillment. So whether it's like your best buddies or like ex-partners or even like present partners that you're gonna quit, like they're gonna feel hurt by that or deceived by that, but they're gonna see that he's like dutifully trying to build his life to be the king of his world, so that he can make like divinely guided choices of passion and love, so that he can have the complete stability that he wants with the feminine. And I do feel that like because these characters, like we have like him represented by the page and the knight. In some cases, here towards the end, he's the king, but it took way to the, like up to the present moment for that maturity to be shown. And the feminine is being shown as like Justice and the Queen of Cups, so there might be some kind of like obvious difference between them, whether it's age or position, like power, whatever, like something like that. That even if he's not age younger, he's maybe less seasoned or mature, however you want to say that. But the two cards that like are at the end of these two like narrative rows are both marriage cards, like 10 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. So we're still echoing yesterday's reading in that marriage is the energy of it right now. So that's kind of sweet. And I'll just I feel like it's not just me, but I feel like other people are feeling kind of emotional. I don't know if it's because I didn't sleep all night. I don't actually feel like crying myself, but so that's why I'm thinking it's like a shared feeling. So just to like temper that, I'm just gonna send some good balancing energy to viewers. I guess like what I feel is like if you can connect with your inner child and the things that you wanted for your life back then, and also try to look at things from a greater distance, like at the big picture, and not get so caught up in all the details, because many of the details it's not our job to sort out. Like a lot of our job is to have faith and trust that the universe like loves us and is bringing in the right thing. And if it seems like a bit of a carousel or like a revolving door of characters, like I was saying in the beginning, it's not necessarily like not the masculine, because like other people I feel can present as the masculine energy to do different phases of the work. It's just my feeling. So you can't just like close your off and be like, I'm only going to talk to this one person in my life. Like you can't be like that, because sometimes masculine needs to go inward or do other kinds of work that are busy making enough that it's not always like you guys back and forth. So it's important just to trust that like whatever's happening right now is what's supposed to happen right now, and to have faith and know that there's like a greater purpose to it, and that good things are coming your way. Just give me one more second with sending that energy. I feel too like some people watching might be getting involved in like judging like little bits and pieces of what I'm saying, but like what's important from what I just said is like to have like an overview feeling of the energies, and to not like concern yourself with every last detail or nitpicking, even if for your own life or for what you're seeing projected like to you right now through me. Just open your heart to the possibility that like the energy of marriage and judgment and all that, what I just mentioned in the reading, is present, and see and just accept that. I feel like there's a couple like new people who have like a little more difficult energy. I'm just trying to like, I mean, I don't have to fix everything right now, but just for the sake of the viewers, I want to help a little bit more. Yeah, so it just felt like I was coming up against some like very rigid thinking of some people like that. It just feels like almost like a computer program that just needed to be transmuted so that those people who had that can be liberated to see things from another way that's causing less pain for them. Okay. So, I mean, these yesterday and today's readings are super positive and beautiful, and it's kind of a little bit overwhelming. So you have to excuse my lack of like freaking out over it, but it's like pretty amazing, and you know, it's for everybody. It's been a lot of work and a lot of time, and just keep being curious about this process. And it's great that you're researching or comparing notes with different readers, or in your own feelings. And yeah, just watch for the signs in your world. And like one thing I notice is like sometimes you can see reflected in what's going on around you, like that it's a message for like what your theme is yourself too. And it might come as a bit of a surprise, like but at the same time it's reassuring to have it reflected for you so that you don't have to take it so personally, like it's like you're in a story, but you're also like watching the story unfold. You're like both a character and the observer. So try not to like check out too much from that, like enjoy being a character in the story and take part, um, like fearlessly, kind of is what I'm feeling. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll probably do one of these each day that I'm here in the Philippines because I have more time than when I was at home. And yeah, so see you soon. Bye.